That's why a lot of people died. So the Super Eagles should just come out with their best 11 tomorrow and ensure that they don't give Nigerians hypertension. Just go out there for the goals. And let's go back to other developments in the country.
Right. One of which is, of course, the food situation. Many Nigerians going to bed hungry, not being able to afford basic meals. And in response to that, the federal government has been working out, solution after solution, coming up with intervention after intervention. And now the latest is a directive by the president, which we hinted at earlier in the day, for the release of at least 100,000 metric tons of essential grains, rice, maize, and the likes. And while it's a welcome development, of course, there are concerns, regarding how much this will be enforced. We spoke with a guest earlier in the week, and he recalled events that happened during the COVID period of 2020, how food aid was given to the people. Here in Lagos, the governor opened up, was it food markets across local governments, and how many people can say they benefited from it? How many basic, random, ordinary Lagos residents can say they benefited from it? Of course, we saw the bans, we saw the storage facilities, how people were hungry and they had no choice of, fine, a crime is a crime, but we saw how people now stampeded storage facilities to get into and take away the food. Some of the food were even found to be rotten away and were not shared out, as was the mandate, as at when the order was given that food be given and shared out to people around. But the issue of hoarding is also another matter that the government is also looking at and hoping it has learnt its lessons from the past.
For me, the release of 102,000 grains to Nigerians is not a solution. It's not a solution because do we have enough database?
In fact, a particular expert said he gives, that number 2 days max. Yeah, but that's 2 days, and then it's all finished.
To over 200 million Nigerians. Are you just going to what is our social register? Who are those people on that database? How will this not end up in the hands of a few that will siphon these particular grains into their hands to utilize for their own selfish ambitions, selfish gains? What is the implementation process? The release of the grains is good. Are you aware that the president personally gave rice during Christmas to Nigerians? How many Nigerians were able to see this? I spoke to one former local government chairman of my area, and he said, Emmanuel, I got this rice, and if I will convert the money, it's going to be, I don't want to mention his name because I'm on the national TV. It's going to be like 3 million. But he decided to give those things to the members of his constituency. So, how many politicians have been able to do this? What is the implementation process? The president is doing well.
Releasing
all those grains. Will it trickle down to the less privileged, to the vulnerable in the society?
Right. Implementation one, monitoring two is another thing. Because how much can we bank on, our leaders, those who are monitoring all this, intervention mechanisms, all these policies, all these initiatives? How well can we bank on them that they will, give Nigerians what they want, what they need, and somebody will not come and siphon this to. And what do you even need this for? You're already at least more comfortable. Than several millions of Nigerians. Look at the scandal that is rocking the humanitarian ministry and humanitarian affairs ministry, and of course that now gives fillip to those who said from the onset, not even at the start of the Tinubu administration, but even way before, that handing out, these aids, handing out money to people, all in the name of, social welfare scheme, is not the solution, because the Nigerian factor, whatever that means, and why we have to have that unenviable status of the Nigerian factor, will always come into play, and it remains to be seen when we are going to shed ourselves off that status of the Nigerian factor when it comes to time, when it comes to corruption, and the likes. And now there are other options that the government is looking at. There's the issue of food imports, and even that, of course, is still being explored. It's not yet certain that that is what whether we would need to get to that point. But the main challenge that the government needs to tackle really is security.
The insecurity.
Insecurity.
The insecurity that we have in the country at the moment. When you look at a state like Benue, called the food basket of the nation, how many of those farmers can go to their farmlands and do what they know how to do best? I have someone who stays in Lagos, and even up till now, we still get food products from Benue because she believes that it's more cheaper over there than what she gets in Lagos. So we are blessed with wonderful lands.
Absolutely.
In this country. There's nothing you plant on the soil in Nigeria that will not yield positive results. But the challenge of insecurity at the moment is making a lot of Nigerians afraid to go to their farmlands and to practice what they know how to do. So the federal government also needs to look into this to encourage the Nigerians who are farmers back to their farmland and ensure that things get better in the country. Like I rightly said about this issue of grains, let's get the data and ensure that we let it trickle down to the vulnerable in the society. Checkmate them. Are you aware that, Kemi, that some the 36 state governors received monetary allocations from the federal government? How many of the states were able to utilize all this money for their citizens, for their residents in their various states? So these are big questions that state governors, you don't just take everything down to the federal government. What are the state governors doing to cushion the effect of the subsidy removal in their various states?
This is a very big question, and this week, I think a few days ago, the governors also had a meeting in this regard where they also said that they were going to work with the Office of the National Security Advisor in their various states to enhance, security and play their part, because it's all interconnected, somewhat. All right, we will continue with the show, TVC Breakfast Saturday. Of course, let's quickly take this breather, and we will be right back for more.